Bum ba da bum 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 ba da bum 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 ba da bum. Good morning. Welcome to episode 76, everybody. As I'm going to drop this link here, we're going free webinar action extravaganza. We're doing this tomorrow at School of Shred podcast.com/webinar, babies. All right. Good morning, everybody. As you jump on here, you know the deal, baby. We got to throw some flex emojis in the comments. I need some interaction. I need some participation on a high level here. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing well out there in the world. Welcome to the show. This is the show that's designed to help you shred your old and make better your new. Boom, boom. Let's go. We're getting rid of the old habits, the habits that no longer serve us. We're shredding them out. We're shredding body fat. We're shredding limitations today. Today, we're going to be talking about getting the cart before the horse. The show comes to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Here on your special channels. That's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And then these shows are repurposed to Spotify and iTunes. If you can go do an iTunes review, that would be much appreciated. Love you all. Looks like everybody's jumping on. Throw me a flex emoji, Instagram. Let's go. We got Facebook rolling. We got YouTube rolling. All right, let's talk about getting the cart before the horse, huh? What do I mean by that? It's basically about prioritizing. If I'm yelling right now, I'm sorry. I've had a clogged ear. I'm having some ear issues that I've had for several days now. We're trying battling through, so been probably extra loud. Maybe it's all the concerts I've gone to in my life. But anyway, today we're going to talk about getting the cart before the horse because I want to try and help you figure out where you are with your goals and not get like major and minor things, right? I don't want you to major and minor things. So the big thing is prioritizing your goals and then figuring out what's most important for you right now and, keeping everything in perspective. I talk a lot about, like sometimes we talk on this show. I try to not get super nitty gritty on exercise stuff, but when we get real nitty gritty on exercise stuff, we can also lose sight of the fact that just moving your body and exercising is awesome in its own right, no matter what it is. So if I don't have the opportunity to help somebody with all the cool mechanic stuff I can do in the gym and rig up machines and all that, at a certain point, I'm all in on exercise anyway. So if you do, I got lots of people who do jujitsu just for exercise that I roll with. They just do that for exercise. That's great. Some people love to do CrossFit. That's great. We have to keep things in perspective. So when I'm talking about things and specializing in certain things, it's important to know that. But what we're going to talk about today, and we're just going to kind of riff off of a weight loss goal because that tends to be what most people are into. And I think that's what this country struggles with the most. This country is not struggling with people not having muscle. This country is struggling with people who are insulin resistant. Their body's not allocating calories the correct way. And there seems to be so much information that people are confused. And so what I would like to do is try and help you with some stuff that I've learned over the years. So we're going to talk about 3 things today so you can keep the horse before the cart. The horse pulling the cart. You are the horse. Lead from the front. Number 1 is going to be a calorie deficit. Yep, calorie deficit. But we're going to talk about what makes that up because that's a very, very complex issue. It's not just as simple as just eat less, move more. There's a lot going on there. Number 2, we're going to talk about is calorie quality because it's not just Kiko, calories in, calories out. We want to unclog our hormones. And then number 3, we have mitigate busy work. This is a big one, is mitigating busy work. I get this a lot, and I'll tell you a couple examples of this in my everyday practice with my clients. But say we got a weight loss goal here. One of the main things that tends to pop up with a lot of my clients is this cardio. So people will want to know how much cardio should they do to lose body fat? What's the correct amount? Now, the interesting thing about this is that that's getting the cart before the horse because if you set up a diet plan, if you set up a diet plan and you start losing weight, if you're losing 1 pound to 1% of your body weight per week, you're on track. You're on track right there. You don't need to add cardio. Your body's already burning. Cardio is not essential to burn body fat. Okay. Exercise is not essential to burn body fat. However, exercise, I mean, and when I say exercise, I mean resistance training, because really cardio is exercise as well. But resistance training has many more benefits than just fat loss. But you could lose fat and diet alone. And this is why I don't over advocate for insane amounts of workload, because that can really inflame the body. Now, me personally, I really enjoy tough workouts. So I do really hard workouts. I train on the edge of overtraining a lot. I have to take periods of time off. But, honestly, my best fat loss comes when I'm doing a lot of fasting and actually allowing my body to recover and not be inflamed. So, specifically after maybe a hard cycle of training, maybe I do a 2-day fast, a water fast, or like 24-hour fast, and I go low on calories for a couple of days and I allow inflammation to drop. That's when I tend to lose body fat the best. But anyway, back to this point of cardio before worrying about weight loss. So people will want to know how much cardio to do. If you're losing weight, you're on track. You got to look at it this way. Look at the 30,000 foot view. Are you on track to reach your goal? Then you don't need to add anything. Another thing that we can get the cart before the horse on is the protein thing. So how much protein do I need to have? We need to be worrying about how many calories we have and setting the diet up before you worry about protein. Because I get this a lot where people want to go, hey, what protein shake should I get? I'm like, well, we need to make sure that you have good protein sources naturally in your refrigerator before you start worrying about protein shakes. So, or people want to know, what's the best intra workout, pre-workout? You guys, people had ripped, tight, lean, toned, muscular bodies before there was ever supplement companies. Supplement companies didn't come around until the 80s and 90s. Bill Phillips with EAS was the guy who really got like creatine in the market and the protein shake thing big and actually made it like marketable, because before then it didn't taste very good at all, and it was chalky and protein bars and all that. So realize that if you can do a Google search right now. You can look up a guy named Vince Garanda. He came up with the steak and eggs diet. He was an old bodybuilder back before steroids were prevalent, back before there was all these supplements, fat burners, protein shakes, all this stuff. The guy had an insane physique. People have been doing this for a long period of time. If you look at our ancestors in caveman times, they didn't have protein shakes. So we're getting the cart before the horse when we worry about that stuff. What we want to do is set up a good, healthy diet, okay, with a good exercise program, not too little, not too much. We want to dose it correctly. You have to explore what that is. That gets us into a nice calorie deficit, okay? Then we have calorie quality, right? So quality matters. You're not eating overly processed food. You're not having high fructose corn syrups, which has been shown to be anti-satiating, which means you don't get full, which means it's messing with your hormones. We got to unclog your hormones. We got to regulate your appetite. It's called neuroregulation. We don't want your appetite being hijacked by foods that are hyper palatable and you can just continue to eat, which makes you overeat on calories. So calories in, calories out, it does matter. But what makes that equation up is much more complex. It's not just this binary, like just eat Pop-Tarts and be in a calorie deficit. That will work in the short term, yes, but it can ruin you long term. Just as throwing weight around and just exercising hard can get you in shape short term, but then long term, those are the clients that end up in my schedule where I have to then go in and be a specialist because joints have deteriorated. So just because you can get results short term doesn't mean that it's going to work for you long term. So calorie quality absolutely matters. And then we want to mitigate busy work. So giving yourself busy work might look like trying to make a adjustment in your plan just because you think that you need to make an adjustment. And this is a big one that I get with clients is they'll be doing really good and say their metabolism for some reason hasn't caught up to what we're doing. So I have them set up on a plan, have them set up with the nutrition plan. They're exercising a couple, whatever it is for that client, and they're losing 1% of their body weight per week, or they're losing a pound per week, which is kind of how I judge it if I have a weight loss or a fat loss client. And the reverse could be said for a muscle gain client. But anyway, so they're losing that amount and they go, hey, what do we need to change this week? And it's like, well, you're seeing the result you want. We don't want to get the cart before the horse. I'm not going to give you busy work just for the sake of giving you busy work. If you're seeing results, there's no need to change. You're seeing the results you want, right? You guys, there's a lot to life. There's not just your fitness program. So we want to make sure that we're not giving ourselves a ton of busy work just for the sake of thinking that we need to do more stuff. If you're seeing the result, if you've written your goals down and you have your goal, and you say, my goal is to lose 15 pounds, or my goal is to lose 10 pounds, or my goal is to lean up and tone up. If your goal is to get lean, you should start looking at losing weight. And I know a lot of people don't want to say that, because some people will say, oh, well, you can maintain the same weight and build muscle and lose fat. That's a real long process. I wouldn't count on that. So if you want to get leaner, look at losing 1 pound to 1% of your body weight on average per week. So that's taking a 7-day body weight average. Every morning you get up, you urinate for the first time, you jump on the scale, you do that number 7 days in a row, you get the average for that number, you write that down every week. If you haven't lost at least 1 pound per week or 1% of your body weight, anywhere in there, then you're not on track for your goals. And then you can make an adjustment. Then you can add cardio. Then you can play around with pulling calories if you want. There's a few different, there's troubleshooting you could do at that point. But if you're on track, there's no need to change anything. You don't want to give yourself any busy work. So as we're wrapping up here, that's kind of what we want to be doing, is not giving ourselves busy work, creating a calorie deficit through good whole calories. What this does is it unclogs our hormones when we're looking at fat loss. Okay. Keep things in perspective. Figure out where you are. I have talked about gut health before and rotating food sources, which is good. You need a diverse diet for good gut health. However, if you're just starting this thing out, maybe you do need to prep the same food for a couple of weeks on end before you can get into starting to rotate your foods. You have to figure out where you are, not where somebody else says you should be, or or following somebody else's program. And I know this can be hard, because what it takes is you having to learn about your body, but you're on a path right now. And the path is figuring out what works for you. And that's very, very important. So we don't want to get the cart before the horse. So that's episode 76. We're making these short and sweet. Just want to give you some fire and flames here in the morning. I hope everybody has a great day out there. Shred Nation, I want you to stay strong and healthy in body, stay relentless and energized in spirit, and stay determined in your pursuits today and every day. Until next time, class is dismissed. We'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 77. And I want you to start asking questions now. We have our Q&A Friday coming up, Friday the 13th. The 13th Q&A is this week. So ask me all your spooky questions as we navigate October together. Ask them up. We will answer them. Have an awesome day, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Until next time, class is dismissed.